If you want stuff, then go to RightStufAnime.com. Come on now, you know I had to make that pun. What is good, guys? And this is your boy Vengefulwilberg here, bringing you another unboxing review video. And before I begin, I would like to give a huge shout out to RightStuf Anime for bringing this incredible work of art over. And as you're watching this video and become interested in the series that we're going to be talking about today, then you definitely want to click on the link in the description section to be sent to the right place for the right stuff for the right price, because bro, this series is already on sale, on pre-order, so I highly advise that you take advantage of this steal. So the series that we're going to be talking about here is known as Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, the complete collection. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is talk about the cover art first. And guys, I'm telling you right now, I really dig the front cover of this one. You know, the placement of the characters is perfect, and I like how this character that I would not name is looming over the main character known as Bonager. And it just gives you that feel that this guy is the major threat here. He's the head honcho going after Bonager's nachos. I hope you enjoyed that goofy, cheesy pun right there. So another thing that I also like is the placement of all of the other characters. Because out of all the cover arts that I've seen thus far, the artist used a ton of space for the characters, especially since the background is only black this time. I feel like the focal point here is just on the key characters of this series, and the characters that you want to focus more on are the characters on this cover art, which is the guy that I would not name, the main antagonist here. Then you have the protagonist known as Bonager in the middle. Then we have Marita, and then we have Audrey, and then at the bottom, I apologize if I butcher his name, what we have down here. I believe his name is either Ridhe or Ridhe. Is one of those. So I apologize in advance if I butchered his name. Correct me if I'm wrong. And so these guys are the major characters that you want to focus in on. And of course, every Gundam cover is not complete without showing the Gundams in the top left and top right corner. It's an amazing detail and extremely clean, and I really love the art style of this cover. So why don't we go ahead and move over to the spinal portion of this case. Let's get a nice view here. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and look at the spinal portion here. So here we go. First, to top it off, at the very top, we have the Sunrise logo. Then we scroll down and we have the Gundam, known as Gundam Unicorn. Let's back up a little bit. And then we scroll down and we have the clean logo in red print, known as Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, the complete collection. And then you also have this nice grid lining that we have running down the spinal portion of this cover. I really like the look of that. It makes it very slick, very clean. So why don't we go ahead and look at the back portion here. Of course, we have, you know, some nice thumbnails here on the far right here. And then we also have a listing of the episodes and a nice, beautiful art design of the Gundam Unicorn down here. Very clean, very slick. So I'm going to go ahead and read the back of this here. It says, UC0096. 3 years after the end of the Second Neo-Zeon War, the mysterious Vist Foundation attempts to hand over a certain secret to the Neo-Zeon remnants known as the Sleeves. This will mean the opening of Laplace's box, which holds a great secret tied to the origins of the Universal Century. The exchange is to take place at the manufacturing colony Industrial 7, home of the student Bonager Lynx. When Bonager rescues a girl who gives her name as Audrey Byrne, he is drawn into the conflict surrounding LaPlaza's box. So, very clean, very interesting story, definitely very Gundam-like. I like the grid design as well around the text, very nice. Alright, why don't we take a look at what's inside. Now, one thing that I always say when it comes to these, the first thing is you always have that survey, and you want to make sure to fill the survey out, because you get a chance to get a $25 RightStuf anime gift certificate, and I find that really cool. So all you got to do is send that over to RightStuf Anime so they can get to know you, and hey, you never know, you just might win. So with that said, why don't we look at the contents that we have here? And obviously, one of the things that I really want to point out is the cleanliness of the discs. Oh my gosh. Sometimes it's the little things that counts, and I mean the artistry for these discs are absolutely amazing. It's just amazing. Now, the thing that I definitely want to let you guys know is this series is quite short due to only having 7 episodes, but the thing to keep in mind here is each episode is like almost an hour long. So on each disc you have about 2 to 3 episodes on it. And not only that, you get a variety of other things too, like character breakdowns, interviews, shorts for every episode. So there's quite a bit there. And if I didn't mention it on the back, there is some special features here known as something called the Story So Far episode EX 100 Years of Solitude. And like I mentioned before, there's the episode recaps as well as episode 5 ending with lyrics, trailers, promotional videos, commercials, MS, and like I mentioned before, character highlights, and episode 3 textless ending. I almost forgot to mention that, so I might as well do that now. And so you do get quite a bit. But the thing to keep in mind here is the quality of the content here. Like, it's just amazing. Like, after watching quite a bit of it, you definitely get the feeling that this series is more current due to the quality that is pumped out. But unfortunately, one of the things that I have to mention here is like the box art doesn't have any interesting art inside the case. But despite that, the quality that you get here is really solid. Really solid. We are now going to do the review section, so welcome. And the fact that you are still watching is telling me that you want more. Therefore, check out that link in the description section to go to RightStuf Anime to purchase this product if you are interested in Gundam Unicorn, the complete collection. Now, this series is definitely a keeper. Now, I'm not a veteran when it comes to the Gundam franchise, because there's a lot of different versions of Gundam that I'm not necessarily accustomed to. The main ones that I've watched is Gundam Wing and G Gundam. I'm more familiar with those. However, as I was watching this, I feel as though this series is linked to the original timeline of Gundam, like Gundam before you had these different versions like appear. So I'm assuming Gundam Unicorn is part of the I guess canon or original storyline. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'll talk a little more about that later. So Gundam Unicorn revolves around a student that goes by the name of Bonager, and it seems as though Bonager has some kind of powerful form of awareness, which led him to a mysterious girl who is named Audrey. Now, the remains of the Zeon army is not only searching for Audrey, but is after an important item known as the LaPlaza's box. Now, it is said that this box is the key to some kind of power which is said to be unmatched. And this led to an unknown destiny, which has been revealed to Banagher when he witnessed his first real-life encounter with war, which he only learned about through history. And so after he experienced the negative effects of war for the very first time, you will begin to see how this one event changed his life forever. And it is interesting to note how Banagher seemed to feel so empty inside at the start, and he began to explode with personality after saving Audrey from death with these powerful instincts that are probably unknown to him. So it seems as though there may be some things involving memories, but I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with that. I really look forward to finishing this series in order to see what awakened him and what his past was like when he regains whatever memories that could have been lost or unknown to him. And like I said earlier, I think this series is part of the original Gundam timeline because, you know, there are moments where you would see reoccurring references to Zeon and the Earth Federation. There was even a moment at the very beginning when the old mobile suits were actually in a museum or out on display, and they were talking about past events. So, you know, man, I love it. And so after the fun I had with the episodes that I've seen thus far, it really makes me want to go back and check out Gundam in its earlier phases, like when it first aired, to get a feel of the things that I've missed out on. Now let's discuss the big difference between this set and the previous sets that I've covered already. This series isn't as old as the previous sets that I unboxed and reviewed, which allowed the video to have a full widescreen option instead of only the 4:3 ratio screen. I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I remember there was a viewer that mentioned how with the older franchises and you get a Blu-ray set or something like that, that you normally get like this square, like the screen isn't completely used. Like there's a little section that's cut off due to trying to ensure that the quality is maximized to its highest. So to be 100% fair, you can only do so much with the older films. However, I gotta point this out. RightStuf did an amazing job giving old series like Gundam Wing and Nadesco a super clean look. I mean, RightStuf works their tails off to deliver the best quality possible. But I do have to say, it's really cool to know that when you do buy this set, for those of you that really want to get that full screen effect, this definitely gives you that. This one is a more recent Gundam series, so you're going to get that full 1080, you know, with the whole screen being covered, you know what I mean? So let me continue on with talking about the art style and animation. And oh gosh, the art and animation of this set is really clean. I mean, geez, this series around the year 2010, that was the time when the anime adaptation of the manga known as Gundam Unicorn actually aired. And so with that said, this series is definitely going to have more of a modern look. I mean, the quality of the art is really clean, and there's this like crazy mix of 2D and 3D art, which I found absolutely crazy. It was like some 2D mixed with CG elements or something. It was done extremely well. I mean, boy, oh boy, the animation of this series is really clean and different from what I'm used to when, you know, I watch older Gundam shows like Wing and G Gundam. I mean, I'm more familiar with those two shows than the newer ones. So, I mean, I was like oohing and ahhing as I was watching the first two episodes. I mean, I was really on the edge of my seat while watching it because there was so much going on and so many different effects that worked perfectly. It was just clean animation, amazing combination of art, 3D, CG elements, whatever you want to call it, man. It just looked phenomenal. And the music for this series was really enjoyable, and the music fit every scene, like the mood of the scene, perfectly. The only issue about this set is how short the series is. However, every episode is like an hour long, and the quality of every episode was perfectly polished like an anime movie. You know, it was like that meme, like when the anime is just right or something like that. So I think of this set as more like an oversized animated movie. I mean, the quality of the set lived up to the hype, and the fact that I enjoyed this set makes me want to legitimately go back with the Gundam series and like give like the older sets, like the older versions of the Gundam anime a try. So with that said, I gotta give this series 10 Gundam unicorns out of 10. I mean, so if you're interested in this series, make sure to use that link in the description section to go to RightStuf Anime for the right price. Because remember, the complete set is already on sale, and it's on pre-order, and it's on sale for $42.24. So remember, if you want the right stuff, then go to RightStufAnime.com and have a blessed day, guys. Peace.